part of your story with us tonight. Thanks,
My
Rita.
My pleasure, Bill. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I have one more guest for you. Patty and I have come to know and love Mary and John Light. They've become dear friends. We have kindred spirit, a real love for the Lord and a love for making a difference in other people's lives. These two have done so beautifully. They have a powerful health story, but they have a powerful story of reaching out and making a difference in other people, and have built a serious business. With Relive, they're known as Presidential Bronze Ambassadors. It's a big title, but it means they've helped a lot of people. And it's certainly our pleasure and our honor to have them join us tonight. So, guys, we'd love you to come on and share.
Well, hi, Bill. This is Mary.
Hi, Mary. Welcome.
Hi. We got started with Relive about 10 years ago, and what happened for us was that I was very sick. I had numbness over 80% of my body, and my liver was shutting down. And the head of hospice was planning on how he was going to counsel my family after I was gone. And all that time we had been praying for answers. I had been on all sorts of nutritional products, taking 50 to 60 supplements a day. And so when it got so severe that things were very serious, I remember praying and thinking, well, there isn't anything I haven't tried. I've tried everything everybody has suggested. And that's when I remembered I had a friend in Montana who had been excessively excited about a product, and because she was kind of over the top, I avoided her. So we called her up, ordered it. It was Relive. And that very first month, after I started Relive, I began to get strength and energy. And I can remember thinking, how can this be? I have been on all these good products. How could I start to get strength and energy? But by the end of the month, my chronic bladder infections cleared up, and I didn't know it at the time, but they were never going to be an issue again. The next month, I got more strength, more energy. I was up. I was functioning. At the end of that month, my irritable bowel syndrome went away. And again, I didn't know it, but it was never going to be an issue in our lives again. And so we just continued to improve, and after 4 or 5 months, various systems in my body started to work. I started to perspire. I went out and bought deodorant for the first time in 2 years. I'd lost a lot of hair. My hair began to grow back. At 6 months' time, my liver started to function, so the yellow jaundice or the yellow skin cleared up and came back to normal. And at the end of the 6 months, that numbness that the doctors told me would only get worse, it would never get better, got maybe 10% better. But it just continued very slowly every year, maybe 20% a year. Now it's a good 90 to 98% gone. I have my life back, and what is even so wonderful is that when I was in my about 40, I would go riding bikes with our daughter, and I could ride maybe a mile, and then I would just get too tired. We'd have to turn around and come home. If we came to a hill, I'd have to get off the bike, walk it up the hill. She'd wait for me. So I just, wasn't doing so well. And that was at 40. I am 64 years old now. I can ride my bike anywhere I want to go. I go up all the hills I want to go. In good weather, I take our 2 dogs. I go for a run for about an hour a day in good weather, and I can do all these things that I got. So I'm doing better at 64 than I was at 40. So, it's changed our life. I think, okay, when other people are talking about retirement, I'm thinking, well, I'm going to work till I'm 93, and then I'm going to think about retirement. But when I got started, my husband also got started, so I'll let him share.
Hi, this is John, Mary's husband, and about 24 years ago, I was working at a piano company here in Indiana, helping to do inventory out in the plant, climbing up and down the ladders all day, counting parts. And my knee swelled up, got very sore. So I had to go to the doctor because after inventory, the swelling didn't go down. The doctor did tests and told me I had rheumatoid arthritis. He started me on prescription medicine, but it quickly spread to other joints. So he'd say, that didn't work, let's try this. That wouldn't work. He'd say, let's try this. That wouldn't work. He'd say, let's try this. And I went over 10 different kinds of arthritis medicine. It still left me where it was very difficult to go up or down stairs or turn a doorknob or even turn the key to start my car. I had acid reflux that was so bad, I think, from the medicine, that I had to have throat surgery, and the surgeon said, "You'll be back within 5 years for more surgery because we won't be able to stop this with medicine." But Bill, the scariest thing was after taking that medicine for 5 years, the doctor wanted me to go have a bone scan. And I didn't know why, but I went and had the bone scan anyway, and it showed that the medicine had given me osteoporosis. But we were praying about what to do, and we started taking Relive. And I'm happy to report to you today that I am pain-free from my arthritis. Our house has 17 stairs to the second floor, and I can travel up and down them all day long, no pain. I've been painting on the top of an extension ladder, which I could never have done before. I don't have acid reflux at any time, so there'll be no more surgeries. And after taking Relive consistently for a year and a half, a second bone at the same hospital came back, their bone scan came back normal. So we're thankful to God for what Relive has done for us. Now, Bill, we had really lost our dreams because, unfortunately, as some of your listeners may know, if you don't have your health and you don't have finances, then you're just surviving. You're not dreaming anymore. But we were praying about what to do again, and when we started into the Relive business, our mission was to find the next person who needed help and help them. You know what? We found out there's no shortage of people who need help, but that's what we were doing. And at the end of our first year, our 1099, much to our surprise, from Relive was $44,000. The next year it went to 56. The next year it went to 77. It's continued to be a wonderful blessing through this economic downturn. Our daughter graduated from college with a music degree, and we owe nothing. Relive literally put her through college. Now she is about to finish up her second degree, and we still owe nothing. We not only have our dreams back, Bill, we're literally living our dreams. We are currently building a home in the mountains in Utah, and in June we're going to move there and take our Relive business with us because you can do it anywhere. And the place where we're going to live is called Mountain Green, and that is Mary's dream spot to live in. So we are so thankful for Relive and what it's done for us.
Well, it's certainly a heartwarming story. You both have gotten dramatic results. Mary's was pretty scary when you're talking to hospice. I literally have my wife because of Relive. Yeah, I mean, the medical community didn't have an answer. Couldn't figure out the puzzle.
No, they didn't know what it was. They just gave her some pain medicine because they said she'd be having pain and sent us home.
But by the same token, you went through 10 different meds for rheumatoid arthritis. So again, the medicine has made a lot of advances. There's no question. Wonderful things have been happening. But at the same time, the medical crisis in this country continues to escalate.
Well, we think of it as now I love my doctor, our family doctor, so I don't want anyone to think that we're against the medical community. But what they do is kind of like there's people driving over a cliff, and when they hit the bottom, then the medicine tries to take care of that. All we're doing is trying to build a fence at the top of the cliff to keep people from going over.
Yeah. Prevention's a whole lot better than battling with the cures.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
my grandmother used to say, you can pay the grocer or you can pay the doctor. So, it's either good nutrition or pay the doctor.
Pay it up front or pay it later, the hard way, right? Well, we're so excited for you guys and the good things that have happened for you. And, you've talked about your results, but you've turned around and touched a lot of people's lives. So you began thinking of other people that you thought this could help. So how did you go about helping other people?
Well, when I first started on the products, they put us on stories, And I can remember thinking, if I make all my friends wait until I get results, it might take me a whole year for me to get results because I had a lot of things wrong with me. And I thought, I don't want them to have to suffer a whole year. And I didn't know the products. I didn't know the company. I didn't know anything, what all that Relive offered. So all we did is I would talk to people, and then I would say, you've got to hear Wendy's story. And I would connect them to Wendy, and she would share her health and business. And she would take care of everything. She did all the work. So all I was a connector, and it was so much fun. And at the same time, I was learning every time I would connect. But what would happen also, because I had a friend who told me, he said, Mary, if there were 1,000 people in the room, you'd be the last person I'd pick to do Relive. And I thought, I wouldn't have picked me either, because I tried to sell Tupperware once, and I ended up with a living room full of Tupperware. And so, I knew I couldn't sell, but I knew that Relive worked. And so all I had to do was connect people. And so I would connect them, and even though I was at the beginning, very, very poor and terrible at this, I would just connect them, and my upline would share stories, and I saw that it was a wonderful power of a story that would help people. And then they would make my next appointment. They'd say, well, had you heard Joyce's call? Has Mary had you listened to Joyce and Les? And they would be like, well, no. And so Winnie would say, well, when can you do it, Monday or Thursday? And she'd set my next appointment. So they literally did all the work for me. And all I did was take people to stories until they would turn to me and say, hey, we want on these products. How do we get going on them? So that's the way I built my business, and that's the way I still do it today.
Well, it is. They say it's a story business, and it's not about reading the ingredients on the label. There's hundreds and thousands of opinions about nutrition. Isn't it wonderful that we have hundreds and thousands of people with results?
Yes.
Absolutely. And you know what? Here's a little confession. For the most part, I don't know what's on the label. I just know it works. Yeah. The bottom line is, does it work? The real issue is, does it get absorbed, and can your body use it? And a lot of things, loads of people are trying, it's the nutrient of the month club or the week club. They hear about this and they try that, and hear about this and try that. But so many things go in one end and out the other end that people don't realize. It has to be in the right balance, has to be in the right combination, has to be food. And so here's a company that knows this and knows how to put things in a form that the body can immediately absorb and immediately use. And how heartwarming is it to be a part of sharing and making a difference in other people's lives? A lot of tears of joy, I can tell you that, over the years.
Yeah, you guys have touched lives all over the place. And your business didn't stay in Indiana, did it?
Oh, no, we've got business all in many states and up in Canada. So with people I've never even met. So it's wonderful.
Yeah. You make lifetime friendships in this business. And isn't it interesting, here you guys and Patty and I are completely different organizations. We have no financial tie whatsoever, and yet we've become dear friends.
Oh, and, yeah, it was worth us coming in to Relive just to meet you and Patty.
Well, that's kind of you. But, yes, the friendships become strong. You share that common bond of what a treat to be a part of a company like Relive that has a heart to make a difference.
And the way Relive was set up from the beginning with the expectation that if you were in Relive, you would help anyone else in Relive. So when we all get together, there's no competition. It's just a lot of people who have helped each other, and so it's wonderful.
Hundreds and thousands of people working together to make a difference in other people's lives. There's just this huge network of people helping people with no money involved. Yes, there's a team that works together and help build businesses, but at the same time, there's thousands of people reaching out and helping one another out because they have a heart to help others. Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the neatest things is, you you get to really have a Relive family, and what you find out is there's a lot, the people that Relive draws are people who want to help people, but they're positive, and they're people who've gotten help with their health issues and their financial issues, and so they're real wonderful to be around. And, so many times when we're around our Relive friends, we just have such a good time, and then you'll get around other people, and they're complaining, and da-da-da-da-da. Sometimes I just think, I got to get with some of my Relive friends for an evening because they're positive and they want to help people, and they have hope because their lives have been changed.
Yeah. That's great. Well, and at the same token, we can't help everybody. There's a lot of people who just are closed-minded, and that hurts because sometimes you want to work. What it can do for them, and not everyone will listen. Not everyone is open. But how rewarding it is to be able to connect with those who will open up and let you share Relive with them and see the life-changing things that happen for them.
And the one thing about that, Bill, is sometimes people just aren't ready. I had a best friend, who I had talked to about Relive, and it was no, 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 and I just kept getting no's, and I'd call her back every few months. I even gave her some product, and she didn't really even take it. And then 2 years later, her daughter was dying. And so I just said, Debbie, you've got to listen. This is, you don't have a choice. This is too serious. Well, her daughter got on the products, got absolutely fantastic results, came off a lung transplant list. But the thing was, is they had told me no for 2 years, okay? And so sometimes there's no's when people, it just means the timing. They're not ready yet. There comes a time when they are, and so even though, they're not ready now, they might be ready later, so you
Absolutely.
Just quietly keep working with them.
We've seen that over and over. Loads and loads of times we've seen that happen. So it's just timing in people's lives.
It's okay to be skeptical. I was skeptical about Relive. I'm not worried about people who are skeptical as long as they have an open mind.
Yeah.
Relive will take care of the skeptic part.
That's true. That's right. Wow. Well, guys, I have a real love for you too. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for being on our call tonight and sharing with the